just shifted in Cary, Illinois, and it tells us a lot about where this community may be heading.
The Seasons at Cary development near Route 31 is now moving from planning into engineering and infrastructure design.
But the real story isn't just the apartments.
It's how Cary is preparing its roads, traffic flow, and neighborhoods for the next phase of growth. The Seasons at Cary project sits on about 37 to 38 acres of land just east of Route 31, south of the Walmart corridor near Crystal Lake. Longtime residents know this property as Damish Farm, which for decades remained agricultural land while the surrounding area continued developing. In late 2025, the Village Board of Cary approved the redevelopment in a 5-1 vote.
The approved project includes 360 luxury apartment units, about 5 acres of retail space, and a residential amenity area including clubhouse, pool, and outdoor recreation. The development represents roughly $100 million investment. Construction is expected to begin soon, with the first apartments projected for 2027 and full completion around 2028.
But the apartments themselves aren't what has driven most of the conversation locally.
No, the real focus has been how traffic will move through the area once the development is complete. One of the most significant parts of the projects is the extension of New Haven Drive. Right now, New Haven Drive in the Cambria subdivision ends in a quiet cul-de-sac. Under the approved plan, the road will extend eastward and connect directly to Route 31 through a new signalized intersection. From a regional planning standpoint, the goal is to create better connectivity between Cary and the commercial corridor near Crystal Lake. It also allows the retail portion of the development to function more effectively.
But this is also the part of the project that has raised the most questions from nearby residents. Many people in the Cambria neighborhood understandably wonder, will this turn a quiet neighborhood road into a shortcut for drivers trying to avoid busier roads? Traffic studies for the project estimated that the extended road could carry roughly 1,600 to 2,600 vehicles per day once the development is fully built out. For comparison, the road already sees around 2,300 vehicles daily today. So the increase is noticeable, but not dramatic from an engineering perspective. Still, numbers don't always reflect how people experience traffic in their own neighborhood, and Cary officials appear to recognize that.
Earlier this year, the village presented a traffic mitigation plan designed to slow vehicles and preserve the residential feel of the Cambria area. Some of the ideas include small roadway curves designed to slow drivers naturally, raised pedestrian crossings near neighborhood parks, electronic speed radar signs that display the driver's speed, and signage encouraging drivers to stay on major routes like Three Oaks Road instead of cutting through the subdivision. There has also been discussion about converting the current cul-de-sac into a small traffic circle, although that idea has received pushback from nearby homeowners and may still change.
So the conversation has shifted from whether the project will happen
to how the surrounding infrastructure should be designed. And this is where the bigger picture begins to emerge. The Seasons at Cary development isn't just one apartment complex. It's part of a longer-term regional effort to redevelop former agricultural and mining land along Route 31 corridor between Cary and Algonquin. For decades, large sections of the land in this area were used for sand and gravel mining or agriculture. As those uses phase out, communities are deciding how to transform those properties into something more productive. For Cary, that means looking at how these properties can support new housing options, expanded commercial activity, and a stronger long-term tax base.
That doesn't mean change is easy. Anytime a community transitions land that has been quiet for decades, there will naturally be concerns about traffic, density, and neighborhood character. Those conversations are part of how towns shape their future.
For homeowners in Cary, Illinois, the bigger takeaway is that the village is actively planning for long-term growth. Projects like this often bring new amenities, investment, and infrastructure improvements, which can strengthen the overall economic base of a community. At the same time, the village will need to carefully manage traffic patterns and neighborhood impacts as development moves forward. That balance, growth versus preservation, is something nearly every growing community eventually has to navigate.
For buyers or people considering relocating to Cary, developments like this also reflect a broader housing trend. Many communities are seeing increasing demand for high-quality rental housing, especially for professionals relocating to the area, people transitioning between homes, or residents who want amenities without maintaining a large property.
In that sense, projects like Seasons at Cary are intended to expand the range of housing options available in the community.
And ultimately, this development may represent something bigger than just one project.
It reflects the question many towns eventually face. How do you grow while still protecting the qualities that made people want to live there in the first place?
That conversation is now very much happening in Cary, Illinois.
For now, the Seasons at Cary project is moving into the engineering and infrastructure design phase, and many of the final traffic solutions will continue to be refined throughout 2026.
Like most things in local planning, these changes tend to unfold gradually.
And the long-term direction of Cary will likely continue to be shaped by these kinds of decisions for years to come.